Hello and welcome back to On the Platform. That's right, we are back with On the Platform. We've had about a 6-month hiatus during, I guess, all this crazy start to the year, but we decided to bring it back because there's still more stories out there that we want to hear. So, as always, I'm Callan Davis and I'm presenting this episode of On the Platform, and joining me is a cosplay photographer, Mumei. Hello, Mumei.
Ohio.
How are you going there?
Not too bad, my dude.
Yeah?
Appreciate it. Nice of you to actually get this interview underway.
Yes. It's something we've spoken about for a while because the last interview we actually did on the platform was Shock Jockey, who were a pair of cosplayers. And then from there you're like, hey, you should interview me. I'm like, yes, we should. And then 6 months passed. But here we are. We're back. We're doing On the Platform. This is going to be a fortnightly podcast now. And we're going to keep these interviews rolling. Hopefully one day Carl will jump in and do one himself. But, we never know and that sort of thing. But yes, all right. So you're good for this? You're ready to rock and roll this?
Yes, let's do this.
All right. Okay. So let's kick off by starting with what originally got you into gaming? Like what made you fall in love with gaming?
Gaming. Oh, geez. I literally started playing when I was 5 years old, pretty much.
Yeah.
I can't remember how it got. Like, my mum bought me a, the original NES back in the days. Oh, yeah. I played that constantly. Same with the, what's it called? The Master System as well. The Sega Master System.
Yeah.
They were like my two babies that I played pretty much endless.
Nice.
And like a good 26 years later, I'm still at it.
Very nice. So obviously cosplay's got a large part to do with gaming. So what happened first? I guess I got to ask the chicken or the egg question first. What did you become interested in first? Like, was it the cosplay that caught your eye, or were you already doing photography before you sort of learnt of cosplaying?
No, actually, I started as a cosplayer back in 2012.
Oh, right. Okay.
So, yeah, I started cosplaying first. What got me into it first is that I was going to Supernova.
Yep.
Maybe 5 or 6 years prior.
Yep.
Before I started. And the reason why I got into the actual event, because of one reason, Smash Brothers Brawl.
Oh, yes. Nice.
Because what happened was me and my friend, I used to live across the street. He actually had the Nintendo GameCube. Mm-hmm. So we played Melee nonstop.
Yeah.
And when we found out that Brawl was playable a week early before the game gets released.
Yep.
So we went to Supernova and we actually played the game for hours on end as well up there.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, that's what kind of got me into the conventions themselves.
Yep. So what did you dress up as on your first cosplay experience?
If I actually remember, 2012. It was from Bleach. In fact, it was from if I can pronounce this, if I can remember that guy's name, Toshiro Hitaruga. That's it.
Okay. Yep. Nice.
So he short guy, white hair.
Yep.
He likes to use a lot of ice elements, magic.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. So how did it go on from there? Like, how did you roll into photography from there?
Well, pretty much. I was doing cosplaying for about 2 years, and then I decided to go past a. So every now and then there's an anime shop that I always attend.
Yep.
These guys perform like cosplay barbecues.
Yep.
Free to go in, free food, and you might win something if you win a prize. In a way, if you were best cosplay there.
Yep.
And what happened was I had a friend who, she was dressing up as some character. I can't remember what she was, but she actually asked me to borrow her camera. I was like, oh, here, I'll give you my camera. You take photos of me while I'm in the middle, while I'm introducing myself. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. Took the camera, took a couple of shots. She liked it. I'm like, wait, I'm a natural. It's like, oh, you're a natural. It's like, I just took a couple of shots for her and she's happy. And ever since then, I just I want to buy a camera now.
Yeah. So what did you go out and get first? Like, what was your first sort of camera you started off with?
It was a Canon 600D.
Okay. Yep.
That one set me back about $600.
Yep.
So it was only a crop sensor, not a full frame what I'm using to this day.
Yeah. So, like, well, I guess why did you decide Canon over Nikon for starters? That's normally a question people will ask. Or you were just like, this seems good enough. Let's try this out.
I just picked a camera and I'm like, I'm just gonna go with this.
Yeah.
And I actually asked people, it's like, oh, what's better, Canon or Nikon? And a lot of people just went for Canon. It's like, all right, Canon is.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. So how's your gear, I guess, evolved over the years? Like, actually, what year did we first, like, did this first photography experience happen? Sorry.
It was actually in 2014.
Oh, 2014.
So pretty much,
okay. Yep.
Yeah.
So 6 years.
So I actually wanted to pick that was the year that I was actually going to travel to Japan. So I wanted to buy a nice DSLR for the occasion.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked one up at JB Hi-Fi. Hi-Fi for about $600, and I bought a camera there. And and luckily Supernova Sydney was just around the corner too. So I'm like, all right, I'll go test it out and have fun with it.
Yeah, nice. Okay. So how's your gear, I guess, evolved over the years? Because you started off with the 600D, as you said. Like, what have you added to it? What have you upgraded, et cetera, over those years?
Over the time, of course, I bought a couple new lenses. Mm-hmm. Just the typical nifty 50, everyone likes to call it.
Yeah.
The 50 mil lenses.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only that, it was quite reliable and you get some sharp quality, but it's also the cheapest option.
Yep. So you've got a mirrorless as well?
In fact, I do. My current camera I'm using right now is actually a Sony A7 Mark III, wow. A7R Mark III. So yeah, nice. These ones are very good because these ones have like the higher megapixels.
Okay, yeah.
Because a lot of the cameras now, they're like average 20, 30 megapixel.
Yeah.
That one contains like 43.
Oh wow. Okay, so it just
that set me back quite a bit too. So I'm like, my money.
Yeah. Can I ask how much or one of those is what?
4.2.
Oof. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That is just the body.
Oh wow! And then of course your lens is on top of that.
You have to add more to the lens.
Oh wow!
But back then, but luckily, what I decided to do is that since I still had my old lenses from my my Canon 60 camera, which was my next one up from the 600D.
Yep.
I decided to pick up a like a little like a mount adapter, so I can use Canon lenses on a Sony camera.
Oh right, yes.
So I was using my old lenses until I decided to pick up proper lenses for the Sony.
Oh nice, yes, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, and that would have saved a bit of money as well at the start when you were when you're upgrading into your new camera, etc. Obviously, but yes. So take us through your, I guess, so you mentioned that you did like a bit of photography with your friend, and then you got your camera. Take us through your first expo experience when you wandered in as a cosplay photographer. Like, yeah, just take us through that first day that you went in.
Well, actually, before I actually got to a convention to play with the camera, I actually did a mini shoot for a friend back in the day.
Yeah.
And because I think she was picking up a costume of someone. So I actually asked her, I was like, well, I might bring my camera out and test it out.
Yep.
So yeah, so I decided to play around and get some nice photos out of it.
Yeah.
Still new about it, so I'm just playing around, try different angles and go back and forth and try it that way.
Yeah,
but
nice.
First cosplay experience, I just shot shit tons of photos.
Yeah.
I think I shot about like 600, 700 photos together that weekend.
Wow. So what was that expo?
That was Supernova.
Oh, that was Supernova. Yep.
So Sydney Supernova 2014.
Yep. Okay, right.
That was like my first convention I used with the camera.
Okay. And how did you feel like during that first sort of expo experience that you yourself didn't have a lot of experience in photography at that stage, obviously, because, it's all relatively new. How did you feel like approaching the cosplayers and asking, hey, would you like to be in my shot?
Yeah. Well, most of the people I shot during that day were people I already knew through the cosplay community.
Yeah.
So most of my friends through Facebook and all that were 90% were cosplays.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But so I just walked around. I saw a friend there because I actually was in costume as well. I can't remember what I was wearing though that day.
Yeah.
But I actually asked people. I was like, "Oh, dude, I got a camera now. Let me take some photos." And I just took a couple of shots of them.
Yeah,
nice. I just did one just a standard horizontal shot, and I did the nice Dutch angle
Yeah.
photo pretty much after that.
Okay. All right. After Supernova 2014, what did you attend next?
Ooh, if I remember, like pretty much the conventions on around that time was pretty much Supernova. I think Oz Comic Con wasn't around till a few years later. Smash, of course. Smash is the big anime convention in Sydney.
Right. Okay. Yep.
And EB Expo when they were still around.
Of course, EV Expo. All right. You kind of forget about that. It's like just gone. Well, it's
yeah. We don't talk about that one anymore.
no, we don't talk about that one anymore.
We never speak of that name.
All right. So I've with my film and TV experience of the years, I've had disaster stories happen on set or with equipment or with footage or things go wrong, etc. We've all got the disaster stories. Like there is no hiding away from it. Can you give us some of your interesting tales?
Okay, so I was shooting with a friend who cosplayed a character from Bravely Second.
Okay.
So she was doing like a swimsuit version of Manolia, which is like the blonde haired girl. Like if you've seen the actual cover art of Bravely Second, that's the main character on the cover art.
Okay.
So yeah, so she decided to do like a swimsuit version of it. And we got to a beach. We shot a beach in Sydney and we shot around. So what happened was I decided to ask her to do something like do a pose for me on a certain area while we realized where there were like high currents where we were as well.
Okay.
So we had a bit of a nice no push in the water.
Yeah.
That pushed her into the water where, well, because I think I was near her as well when it happened. So I also kind of got hot, like my legs got wet from the water. Well, she had her like knees scraped from the rocks when she tipped from the high current.
Oh no.
But but it was only just a couple of cuts on her legs, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But pretty much that was it. Actually, I would explain another incident.
Yep.
But it wasn't involved with me though.
Okay.
But I was at the event when we'd done it. Same beach.
Okay.
Where we shot it of the previous shoot.
So don't go to this beach and shoot then, is what you're saying.
One of my good friends who currently lives, I think, in England right now, because he's British, of course.
Yep.
And he's married to a Japanese woman.
Okay.
Lovely couple, but they moved back to their country unfortunately because of their the guy that was working here as he had a visa to work here.
Yep.
But since the company closed down, he had to move back. Anyways, he was shooting a Final Fantasy X shoot.
Okay, yep.
At the same beach. So what happened was he was trying to do. You played the game, right?
Oh yes.
Do you know that iconic scene where Yuna and Tidus both kiss after the Seymour fight? That one scene where they're all like flying around and they're playing that Japanese nice song.
Is that when they're in like that lake or something? Is it?
Yeah, they're in the lake there.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So they tried to reenact that pose of her like kind of kissing.
Yeah.
Like the whole like art where you see her like crying and Tiz is like looking up.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's very well known like wallpaper art kind of thing.
Yep.
Anyways, so we were trying to act that, but same issue happened. Currents were coming in.
Yeah.
And like my friend was like, it was on like this little rock, and like he's doing like the Spider-Man crouch pose when he's trying to take the photo. So water comes through, he loses balance, and he starts like trying to bounce himself back up, and he falls into the water while he had the camera holding up in the air.
Oh.
so he doesn't get wet.
Yep.
And the funny thing is like when he gets up, like everyone was asking him, is the camera okay? Not him. So they literally ask him like the camera's okay or not.
Oh man.
Or about instead of his well-being.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Wow. Well, not nice, but so this beach has claimed a few cosplayers and cameras on its time.
Oh yeah, they would. Yeah.
So since you started the photography, have you actually gone back and cosplayed yourself along the way, or have you just gone, I'm just gonna be the photo guy now?
When I first started, I was doing it both at the same time. So I was in costume while having a camera. Mm-hmm. But I think after a few months in, I'm like, I can't keep doing this, man, because like it's very hard to take photos while walking around in costume.
Yeah, of course.
I have seen some people who have done it all the time.
Yep.
But I'm like, it's not really for me.
Yeah.
Because like I'm carrying like other things on top of me while with my camera as well. So I thought like I'm just gonna make it more just photography, focus more.
Yeah. So we're going through all the different Aussie expos before. So what it was like. You mentioned EB, Supernova, Smash. Of course, there's PAX. There's Madman Anime Expo.
Yes,
there's,
Madman. Yep.
Oz Comic Con, etc., etc. What's your favorite Australian expo to go to for photography reasons?
Pretty much downright PAX.
Yep.
Like everyone from the whole entire country comes to this one event. So like I know a lot of people from, well, besides Darwin, because I don't know anyone up at Northern Territory.
Yeah.
But everyone else I actually know, they all go to PAX.
Yeah. So is that
like that,
is that why you feel it's so good, because there's so many people there, or is it because of how like PAX does
I just
things,
know,
or?
like I said, like most of my friends on Facebook are mostly cosplayers. Say about 85% of my friends are people I knew through the cosplay community.
Yeah.
And so like I know like a lot of my cine friends go to there as well.
Yes.
So like I was like, hey, I know you. It's like, hey, how you doing?
Yes. Yeah.
And like you see me in the background, it's like, Jay, he's like, what?
With the other expos around Australia, well, I guess let's go through the expos in general. Like, what do you think could be improved at the expos themselves to help out cosplayers and photographers like yourself?
Ooh. Like, well, I know that Oz Comic Con definitely been making more things towards the cosplayers and photographers, where they add photo walls and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. I like that. I have mentioned this to a friend of mine who used to work for Repop, where it used to be the company who does Oz Comic Con and PAX, but not Oz Comic Con anymore because they currently run by a different company now.
Yep.
I think they sold the Oz Comic Con to another company. So only PAX is the only one that's Repop take care of now. And I asked my friend about it. It's like, for PAX, can we do something like we do for Oz Comic Con, like maybe a photo wall or anything like that? But she told me straight, I was like, we want to keep it specifically more just for the games, like an actual proper gaming expo. So I'm like, all right, fair enough. We won't worry about that. But something like that, I would like to do something what Oz Comic Con does, is like give photographers like a bit of a highlight of showing them like a photo wall so people can take photos of.
Oh yes,
and such.
That would be cool.
I would nice to see that in at Supernovas as well, but Supernova they already have like one. They usually have one main photographer there named Stinkins.
Okay.
He's a Adelaide-based photographer.
Yep.
So everyone quite knows him. So he's like the official photographer for Oz Comic Con. So he has his own little booth and people take photos of.
Oh, okay, right.
Which is pretty cool. He actually has a pretty cool concept what he does with his photography with his cosplayers. Well, instead of waiting in queue to get a photo, he has a website where it says, okay, all you got to do is go to his website, put your name and number in, and then you'll be put into an automatic electronic queue.
Okay.
So when your name is about to show up on the list here, pretty much the guys will give you a call or text you and be like, okay, you're next on the list now. So come to the booth now and we can take photos. So instead of you waiting in queue, you just go off, do whatever you want, and you'll get a message back saying like,
that's a great idea.
That is a pretty cool thing. I like that.
The worst thing about expos in general is the lines and waiting for something.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
So to cut down at least on one of those lines is, that's a really smart move by him. Well done. No,
so people can do people can do their own thing.
Yeah.
And then when the time is right, it's like, okay, you're up now. Come to the booth. Come back to the photo booth.
So, Oz Comic Con stuff, like you said, they had more of a focus on the cosplay, because I think they run like cosplay competitions, etc. as well, don't they?
Oh yes. Same with Supernova as well. I think Oz Comic Con used to. I do know that the Supernova ones had the Cosplay Odyssey, I think it's called, where pretty much they'll have a competition for each of the main states that they celebrate the conventions at.
Okay.
And then I think the last one of the year, they will give you a proper. Then that's pretty much means you're fighting against the champions of each of the states.
Okay. Yep.
But I can't remember what's the prize for winning the whole tournament kind of thing.
Right. Okay.
But I remember Oz Comic Con back in the days when they had cosplay competitions. Apparently they stopped now.
Yeah.
But if you win the whole Oz Comic Con competition, you'll get a trip to go to C2E2, which is like one of the biggest conventions in Chicago, like a cosplay competition.
Cool.
To represent Australia for it.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
So yeah, so a friend of mine who won last year's one, who calls herself Alt F4, so she's Melbourne based as well.
Oh, Carl and I met her at one of the
so she won
yeah.
the competition last year for her I think it was a Valkyrie from RuneScape.
Nice.
So she did an old school cosplay too. So I'm like, nice.
Wow, that's awesome.
I think I actually gave you a photo in the slide, so you might come across her in the actual.
Oh yeah, the slides we've got playing at the moment.
So I think I gave you that photo too, so of her Valkyrie, like a
okay.
real close-up shot. So you might come across it later.
So yeah, do you think PAX should look into doing more cosplay? Like, you know, putting on more things for cosplayers, like a competition and actual photo, like walls and extras like this? Or do you think they should just stick to the games?
I would say, in my opinion, I would love them to add something for the cosplayers.
Yeah.
But I would keep it strictly for games.
Okay.
So like if they add something cool to the like a side thing where like a little cosplay area in a way, so you can get to hang out with people and such. If they do that, I will like it. I would like to see that. But keep it strictly games, because it is, like I said, it's mainly a gaming convention for people to play games and check out the new demos available.
But they do call it like a gaming and popular pop culture expo.
Yeah,
so
true.
Would you ever like to see something like now we spoke about cosplay competitions. What about cosplay photography competitions at these expos?
That would be cool. Would like the idea.
Yeah.
In fact, before I started getting into photography, back in Sydney, there was an event that I only attended once because they never happened again after that.
Mm-hmm.
It was called Cos Revo, I think it was called. That was more specialized for photographers, in fact.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, so people were showing off all of their different like photography work and all that, and I thought that was pretty cool. I would like to attend these if they do more of them, but the last one I heard from them, it was like 2013, 2014. That's when they stopped.
Yeah.
So like they haven't done it ever since then. So I'm like, I'm very sad because like I want to like show off my work.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they did something like that, and wouldn't even have to be from that year. They could go, all right, okay, let's say there was a PAX 2020 this year, right? PAX 2020 could say, hey, photographers, bring along your best shots from 2019 PAX. We'll display them, and then a winner will be voted on by the people. Like, they can just, you know, imagine like a board put up in that walkway area that everyone goes through, with all these photos with like a number on each one. And then you can get an entry form, write down a number and drop it in the box. And whoever polls the most votes wins. It's like a popular opinion vote. Doesn't take up any extra room. But
that's what that Cos Revo event did.
Ah, right.
So they had all the different like photos, like canvas, like the canvas versions.
Yeah.
So they're not like the thin paper, but they actually use like canvas arts to put their photos on. And people get the vote.
Yeah.
So pretty much I just voted for my like good friend. I was gonna vote for you because you're cool.
Yeah. But I think
I think he won it too. I believe he won it as well.
Oh, nice.
He won it with a photo of Final Fantasy 13, in fact.
Yeah.
Where not only that he was the photographer, but he was also the cosplay in the photo.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome.
So they did like a cool photo of him cosplaying as Snow.
Yep.
While his wife, this is the same photographer I was telling you about, the Japanese wife guy. She cosplayed as Sarah.
Okay.
And they were doing like the whole kissy scene, and they have fireworks in the background. So like he did like the editing because he's good for his like nice touch and his like editing. So I kind of got the skills from him in a ways.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's pretty much So he won the competition. I was like, yeah, cool, good shot.
So do you have some favorite cosplayers that you like to work with?
Oh, yes, I do. One of them Unfortunately, she doesn't have a cosplay page, so I can't mention her name that way. But a good friend of mine named Lisa. She's a big fan of Ruby, so like I love doing shoots when she does Ruby. In fact, one of the slides you see her as like a black outfit, white hair druid, like one of her own. Like she made like an OC druid.
Okay.
So yeah, I love taking photos of her. She's always been amazing, and I always hang out with her.
Nice.
Other cosplayers though. Octet4, I do enjoy taking photos of her. Oh, there she is. There she is. I can see her.
Oh, right.
So that's her there.
Nice.
Who else? Yeah, so her's another one. I got a good friend who lives in Newcastle named Lithium Cosplay.
Yep.
I love taking photos of her as well. She's the Maya in one of the slides. Oh yeah, there's the druid I was talking about.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that's my friend Lisa. So
Yeah,
I always like taking photos of her. So yeah, so Lithium is another one. And every now and then, whatever gets my attention. So if the costume seeks my attention, I'll play around with it.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, but there's a lot more, but I can't really name more.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. So we've spoken a bit about photography side of it. How much post-production do you actually put into these images that we are seeing?
Depends on how crazy I want to make it. Like a lot of the photos I like to take pretty much like a lot of characters I like to take photos of are mainly of video games or anime.
Yeah.
But video games mostly because like we expect gamer.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'll try to. Sometimes I like to copy like poses from games. Like for example, the somber photo you see right now that was kind of taken from one of her poses, her highlight intros that she does, where she does her EMP, where she spreads her arms out and all that kind of stuff. So I try to copy that exact pose.
Yeah.
And then someone will be like, "Oh, I like this idea. I might do it." Or sometimes I'll do meme like photos.
Yep.
Where, for example, I have a friend who cosplayed Link from Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
And what happened was I decided to do a stupid photo of her where how often do you see a photo of Link skating on his shield?
Yeah, not often. Yeah, I saw that in your slideshow. That was actually one of my favorite ones. I thought that was really good.
See how often do you see like every time I show that photo to people, I'm like, oh, did you know Link is a playable character in the next Tony Hawk game?
Yeah, the whole shell surfing from Breath of the Wild. That was a lot of fun.
Another example is I had a friend who cosplayed a character from Game of Thrones, the Daenerys. I can't remember her name from. So what happened was she wanted me to take a photo of her, right? So I'm like, oh, can you like throw me a can you Photoshop a dragon like on my hand because like she poses like that kind of ways.
Yep.
And she was telling me, oh, can you like Photoshop a dragon? So I decided to give her a blue-eyed white dragon card.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Another example, which I love cracking up on people when I show her. I had a friend who cosplayed a Assassin's Creed character. Well, her own version in a ways, like a female Ezio in a ways.
Yeah.
So when I took the photo, I asked her like, give me like an invisible hot dog pose, like a lot of people like to use, like the pose kind of thing. So I had to do that, and I put a because since you know the lore of Assassin's Creed about the whole apple and
Apple of Eden,
stuff,
yep.
So I gave her a golden apple icon from the company Apple.
Oh yes.
And people, I keep telling people, it's like, I guess she found her apple of Eden.
Very nice. So, you talked a bit about your sort of post-production. Do you prefer, like, natural photography of someone, or do you prefer adding stuff to it? Like, if you had, like, in your own eye, like, when you see a photo of, like, cosplay or whatever, you go, yeah, it's really nice because it's so natural, or actually, that looks even better because what they've done with the effects, etc.
Yeah, most of my photos, I have been asked about from some people who's like, oh, do you like editing like complete backgrounds?
Mm-hmm.
For me, I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah.
Because for starters, my skills in like changing the whole background, I can't do it. I can't make it too realistic.
Yeah.
Because I would prefer to like I always like to add a bit of a realistic to my images.
Yep.
That's why when people like to wear contacts and all that in their eyes and all that, I says, don't worry about it. I can be happy to change it and make it more realistic.
Yeah.
So like I'm not a fan of using like items from say if I take a screenshot from somewhere and I'm like I don't want to use those. I prefer to use like real fire.
Yep.
No, not actual fire that she puts on her hand.
Yep.
But like a stock image from online, and I try to use like an actual fire burning on their hand instead.
Yeah.
Instead of using like a fake fire one that I've seen around. I'm like, no. Because like I want to try to keep it with the realistic of the person instead of them as anime characters.
Yep. Yeah.
So so I'm never a fan of that. But sometimes one of my photos I shot a friend at Oz Comic Con last year where she was doing a character from Gravity Rush.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been always want to do a photo where she is like free falling from a building kind of thing. So what happened was I didn't have a proper sky photo, like say like high above like buildings and all that. I didn't have a photo of that.
Yep.
So what happened was I had a friend who used to live in the CBD, like North Sydney area.
Yep.
Right. So what happened was I actually did a triple shoot with her at 1 a.m. So because she wanted to shoot late because like while there's no one around, we can use like the empty streets to do some nice photos. And what happened was, I did a shoot with her. I think actually no, it was more 3 a.m. because like she knows I work very quickly, so I can do like a good full shoot for about half an hour to an hour tops. Yep. So I told her we'll delay it to like 4 a.m. instead. That way she can get herself ready, and then I can just go outside, take some photos, and then she swaps out to a different costume, and we did the exact thing again. And then the third time she swapped out, and I did like a small shoot in her bedroom as well, where it was like semi-lewd shoot.
Yep.
And what happened was, since she lives in a one of those like apartment buildings in North Sydney, she had like a nice view of like a few buildings in front of me. So I'm like, I'm gonna take a photo of that and I'm gonna use it.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, I use that photo of the skyscraper cities and all that, and I photoshopped my friend into the image, put her upside down. Mm-hmm. Well, technically, sorry, I put the whole image, the building upside down.
Okay.
While I have her standing normal. So the whole idea of that is that she's free falling upwards.
Oh.
This is Gravity Rush, so she can control her center of gravity.
Yes. Is that in also the slideshow you've got running there as well?
Yes, actually is.
Yes. I like that one as well. That looked awesome.
That's one of my favorite photos I like playing with.
Nice. So have you got any tips for people that want to start trying to do cosplay photography out there? Like, you know, where do they start, or how they can get into it, or just any tips or tricks for them?
It's pretty simple stuff. Cosplay wise, so if you want to become a photographer, just in general, best thing you do, start small.
Yep.
Buy like a nice cheap camera. You don't have to buy the fancy, because like a lot of people are saying like, oh, you get the better cameras, you get the better quality doing that. It's like, no, it's all about the person who uses it.
Of course.
So it's not like, you know how the whole joke is like, it's not the size, is how you use it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So like I started with a $600 camera, and then people love my work because the way I take photos it's mainly the angles and the ways you do it, and a bit of retouching in your photos once you get the heck of it. So pretty much start cheap, get a nice cheap camera, and then Google's your friend. That's definitely when it comes to photos. A lot of my editing skills came from Google or YouTube, pretty much. I just like, oh, how do I do this? How do I do that? Google will tell you that straight away.
Yeah. Nice.
Another tip, when you at a convention, always definitely. So the one big thing about the cosplay photography now and cosplay in general right now is that consent. Pretty much big thing about it is consent.
Of course, yeah.
So if you want to ask someone for a photo, just ask them politely. It's like, I like your costume. Can I take a photo of it? Just a quick shot.
Yep.
And most of the time they will say yes, because
Yep.
like people would love to get their costumes taken.
Yep.
You might come across some that might be either they might be tired or they're exhausted from wearing the costume all day, kind of thing. So yeah, fair enough.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, just be polite to cosplayers. Ask them politely. It's like, oh, can I get a photo?
Yeah.
Most likely they'll say yes.
Yeah. So don't obviously don't follow them around just taking shots, because that's just bad
Yeah, no.
manners. Yeah.
Yeah, because like a lot of people will take it rudely in a way. They'll be like, oh, if someone's taking a photo of someone, and it'll be like, no, you can't do that. Just ask them, because a lot of cosplayers I know actually tell me, it's like, oh, I hate when people like someone's taking a photo of you. Or so say example, if I'm taking someone of you of a photo, and someone will come in and try to photo snipe.
Oh, right, yeah,
people,
of course.
the cosplayers themselves do not like that. They really hate that when people do that. Yeah. They don't mind getting photos, but at least ask.
Okay, right.
And then they'll be happy to take a photo. Be like, all right, well, I'm about to finish now. You can take some photos now.
Yeah. Okay.
If you were to wait, you'll get some nice photos out of it.
Yeah. What about what about if I've just got my phone and I'm just wandering around the outside of PAX there? I see some cosplayers at a distance. I'm like, oh, I'll just take a snap just for, because it just looked cool. Or should I actually walk up to them and say, hey, can I get your photo? Or is it still, can you just, like, as if you're taking a photo on the exhibition floor or whatever? Oh, man, I've forgotten it. Yeah. Like,
I can't get the idea what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
If it's only one person, then I would say ask.
Yeah.
But if you come across like a big, huge group of people, like say like an Overwatch full of Overwatch cosplays and all that, you can't really ask one by one, like, can't take a photo, then that should be fine. You should like take a because like you're gonna see like maybe 5 to 10 photographers right at the front there taking photos.
Of course, yeah.
The whole entire group.
And of course, at PAX, when all the cosplayers seem to stream out on the Saturday afternoon and get that big group shot together that they do.
Exactly. So when you have those type of moments, then go nuts with the photography, taking photos. But if you want a certain cosplay with only one person there, then of course, go ask them. It'll be the best thing because not only that, when you ask them, not only that they will nicely pose for you and have get a better photo instead, and then you have a better experience with that cosplayer.
Yep. Yeah, no, fair enough. Is there anything else you want to add before we?
The number one I always like to say to people when people want to start photography, never compare your work to others. That's the number one thing I like to say to people. Because you'll get a lot of people be like, oh crap, like his photo looks better, and like it might put you down. It might lose a bit of motivation or confidence that you might not improve. Yep. But like for me, like. To be honest, I actually had some of those moments where I see, like, I take a photo of someone and then I see someone do like a cooler job, like better editing and all that, and that really put me off. I'm like, oh man, that makes me sad because like I want to do something better. I want to improve. Yeah, so never compare your work with others. You might be asking for some inspiration.
Yeah, of course.
Like always ask photographers. Like ask them like, what's the best idea, like best tip of how to do it, and pretty much they will ask you. Like when people ask me, like, oh, like my work, and it's like, oh, I want to learn a bit of your work, and like you do pretty cool work, and like, yeah, I'll be happy to show you. As of late, if you notice that I have been uploading time-lapse videos or time-lapse edits of my work, so people can look out on how I do my photos.
Okay.
Because like I have been asked a few times, and like, oh, how's that girl flying up in the air like that, and like, how's they get the fire in her hand, and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, it's simple, it's just little magic.
Is that fire real? Yes, it is. She actually lit her hand on fire for that shot.
Do you know a funny story about that? Actually, I actually have a friend who is a fire dancer.
Okay.
And what happened was I actually did a casual shoot with her, and what happened was she actually brought like fire fans and all that kind of stuff. So we did some cool fire effects, photos kind of thing. So I actually had a photo of her where she literally had her hand lit up.
Oh, wow.
So it was legit fire. So no fake fire at all. So she put a weak flammable liquid on her arm, and then she just lit it up.
Oh, yeah. And
that she only gave me like maybe a second to get a photo of it.
Wow.
So like because like once the fire was on her hand, she had to like blow it off from the auction. So like,
Yeah. Oh man.
like it's like hands burning. I must remove it.
No thanks for
But
me.
yeah. So pretty much So I just had my camera set on like continuous shot for about a second, and so I had like so if you look at my my album of that shot, it's literally like first shot, second shot, third shot when she lit it up, and she's like. We just try to remove the fire. But yeah, so like that was actually real fire on her arm too. I'm like, oh, I am not gonna get over this photo. How good it is.
Awesome. All right, we are live streaming this on Twitch at the moment. We've got some people in chat. Chat, does anyone want to ask Mumei a question before we start to close out the interview?
I really want questions. Like, hit me up.
Come on, chat. It's over to you guys. You guys can do this.
Give some nice questions. If anything to do with cosplaying or photography, please let me know. Like, say example, is there like a photo that you like from the clip shows?
Yeah.
Just show me, like, just tell me how I did it, and I'll give you an idea how I did it.
We've got one here. We've got Sin Spacies. He's asking, how many years have you been doing this?
I've been doing it since 2014.
Yeah.
So like I started photography about 2014. I actually remember clearly because that was the year I went to Japan. That's the reason I bought the camera for it.
Oh, here we go.
But yeah, I started cosplaying in 2012.
Yep.
And then 2 years later, I started doing photography.
Numu Paya asks, do you do corporate photography?
Or at the moment, no. But I am in discussion with a friend of mine who's going to help me like start a business as a photographer.
Nice.
So it'll be pretty cool. So yeah, eventually I wouldn't mind doing some corporate stuff later down the track.
Mm-hmm. Sin Spacies also asks, is the cosplay scene at the point you're happy with, or would you like to see it get bigger?
Ooh. As much as I have been in the community since 2012, oh, it's very hard to explain about that.
Yeah.
You will come across some bad eggs, definitely.
Yeah.
Cosplayers and photographers alike.
Of course.
And yeah, it isn't a good scene because think about it now, it's starting to be more mainstream now where like even media are getting word of it, and like you're seeing a lot of like news outlets like Channel 7, Channel 9, Channel 10, like news places are actually talking about them. Mm-hmm. Like they actually take photos and videos at the actual conventions and like seeing all the different things, and people get interviewed by these guys. Yeah. So it's starting to be more mainstream now from the nude culture. So that's why like think of it like gaming, for example, like how the esports scene coming around, like it's getting bigger and bigger each year because people are getting word of these companies, and then we're like, oh, we should totally get some money out of these guys. We should use that type of stuff. Yep. So I'm like but right now it is in a good place, and it's literally growing bigger and bigger each year. Okay.
Emerald Rangers asks, what's a character that you want to take a picture of that you haven't taken a picture of before?
A character? Ooh. I got a huge list. I don't know where to begin. If you give me a quick second, I can have a quick look. I actually got a list on my Facebook page where I actually have like a folder of all the different characters I want to shoot. Let's have a look. Give me a quick 1 second.
No problem.
I should have kept it out before.
That's all right.
Okay, so to tell you the truth, I would love to do a cosplay shoot of all 4 of the Horsemen from the Dark Side series.
Oh, nice! Yeah,
I would love to do something like that. I would love to do a. I am a big fan of Xenoblade.
Oh, okay.
So I'm a big fan of the franchise.
Yeah.
And I love the Pyra and Mithra. I love them from the second game. Yeah. I would love to do some photos of those guys.
Yeah. Okay.
I am a big fan of Paladins. So, and unfortunately, the community in the game in Australia is pretty small. So that's very unfortunate. That I would love to do some photos of of the characters from that game. Mm-hmm. especially Ying. I love Ying. Ying's
Okay.
one of my favorite characters in the game.
Yep.
She's pretty much a healer. She's a support class character that relies on illusions. So she can summon illusions, and the illusions can heal allies.
Yep.
So that's why I thought she's pretty cool. Because, in fact, there's actually a pretty cool pose that she does when she uses her ultimate in the game.
Okay.
So pretty much when you use her ultimate, everyone on the map, all of your allies on the map will get healed over time.
Nice.
Like Zenyatta's Transcendence in a ways, but she can use it cross map, so she doesn't have to worry about being near him to heal him. But what makes it cool is that most of the characters in Paladins, each character has like a movement ability. So some might do it like a dash or like a fast run movement. Her one is that she can able to teleport to a illusion and swap them out. So she can swap out a illusion and replaces her body there, like a body swap.
Okay, yep.
While she uses her ultimate, she can be able to teleport to another ally.
Yep.
Anywhere on the map, which is pretty cool. So like I say, someone's about to like die, I can just teleport straight to them using my ability, and I can heal them up quickly before they die.
Nice.
But yeah, but what she does when she uses her ultimate is that she has like a mirror like weapon that fires like beams when she uses it. There's a cool photo I wouldn't mind doing if I do come across a Ying somewhere, anywhere, if I ever see one, where I do a photo where she smashes her mirror. So that's when she uses her ultimate. So it's like she punches through the mirror to use the ultimate. So I want to get like a cool like frontal shot of her doing it. Yeah, I would love to do something like that. That would be amazing.
That was a great question as well, Emerald Rangers. Thanks for that. Sin Spacies also asks, do you have a YouTube channel where you can offer some tutorials?
Well, as I mentioned before, I do have a YouTube channel, but I don't have tutorials on there at the moment unless I do get a lot of feedback to get tutorials, and I'll be happy to make some.
Yep.
But a lot of my videos I made on there are mainly time-lapse edits.
Yep.
Of how I do but it's sped up, of course. Yep. So you won't see how I do exactly, but it's always been sped up. But as well, I also uploaded a video recently, a few weeks back, where I interview friends.
Yep.
But what I decided to change it up a bit. Instead of actually asking for cosplayers, I'm going to interview people who are artists. Okay. So cosplayers, singers, dancers, musicians, streamers, podcasters. I want to try vary the whole idea. Like get more diversity in a ways. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, nice.
So that's what I want to try do. In fact, I was supposed to have one on Saturday last weekend. But my friend who is a vocalist, she was exhausted from her audition. Sorry, not audition. Rehearsal is the word I was supposed to say. Yeah, so she was tired from that. So I'm like, all right, we'll postpone it. So, and at the same time, on Thursday, I also got a cosplayer that I'm going to be interviewing as well.
Cool.
So I asked her, I was like, well, how about this? How about you come to Thursday as well, and I can do literally 2 birds with 1 stone. I'll get both views in, and then I have at least I got 2 weeks of content.
Nice.
But I prefer to do like a weekly thing, so I don't want to do like a daily thing because like it's gonna exhaust me, and I got a lot of games to play.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Exactly I got games to finish.
I know exactly what you mean on that. All right, well, let's start wrapping this all up. But as always here on Game Train, we do like to ask people their lame and hype trains. It's a thing we've had going for a long time now, and something we would like to continue through every episode we can. So are you ready for this? Are you ready for this, Mumei?
All right. Lay it on me. We're
going to roll into the lame train. Okay, Mumei, what is your lame train?
All right, so I was actually thinking about this because when you were talking to me, it's like, oh, you should think about lame train. I was like, what can I think about this? And I think people might hate me of this when I say this, but I think my lame train for me would have to be the cosplay community itself.
Wow.
And what I kind of think of is like, oh, don't get me wrong, the community is great, but as I mentioned before, there are bad eggs you have to deal with. like especially for the female cosplayers where they get harassed by creeps and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, they have to cop it a lot of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the cosplay community, there are some bad eggs, as I said. Some will be elitists, some will be creeps, some will be jerks, all that kind of stuff. It's very hard to get rid of them. Like, it's very hard to try to control it in a ways.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like I really like. It'd be nice if they improve upon it. Like, I do like it that they're adding the cosplay is consent, like not consent kind of thing. So it's good that they're trying to implement it, but it's very hard to stop it entirely.
Yeah.
Which I really wish that he can do, like, we can change upon that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, there are some bad people where I have come across one particular person, which I won't mention names, of course, where they decided to do Chinese whispers with me, with another cosplayer.
Yep.
So I will say that I'm not a fan of this, not the cosplayer, but this cosplayer's partner.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of this guy.
Yeah.
This person. So this person decides to cause Chinese whispers and said bad things that I was calling bad things to this specific cosplayer.
Right. Which
led to a little drama with me and a group of cosplayers. But eventually this cosplay caused a lot of drama for this group, so they don't like him anymore. And I did get apologized by the head group of the group.
Yep.
Saying like, I'm sorry for giving your shit about you saying bad things about her where you didn't clearly did it at all.
Yep.
So yeah, so you definitely get some Chinese whisper cosplayers, people who like to cause drama.
Of course.
Or they'll start saying bad things about you where you didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
I have been called once by an old friend of mine where she was telling me once that, I have been told that someone was calling you a creep and all. And I was like, I don't recall doing anything creep related.
Yeah.
Because like I remember clearly is like if you become called a creep if you're doing a lot of like lewd related content kind of stuff. And back then I didn't do anything. I haven't done any lewd content. The only thing that come close to lewd content where I had a friend in a swimsuit, pretty much, at a beach somewhere where there was like a lot of other cosplayers too. So
yeah,
but that was like that. But after that, I haven't done all the people I shot with are mainly in full costumes.
Yep. Or
in the right costumes in a ways.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, pretty much that's the lame train for me. Is like you'll get some bad people and like you can ruin your day or even weekend.
And of course, those photographers that are in it for the wrong reasons as well.
Yeah, like, you do come across some photographers
just have a bit
where
of
they
a perv and you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you get those, and you also have some cosplayers who tend to flirt and like I will say this now, keep it between us and the
chat and chat. Anyone who's listening to the podcast later on.
There and the podcast as well. There are people who try to ask out minors as well.
Right.
That's a big thing happens as well. Unfortunately, like I know some people who are like that too. I'm like, fuck, please don't be like that.
Yeah.
You're gonna cause a big drama to yourself, and you get your ass in trouble.
Oh, look, that's the quickest way you can get cancelled these days as well, is by just
like I'm just seeing this drama all over bloody YouTube and all that, like all the different like streamers and fellow YouTubers and all that, all getting this cancel cultured, all because of something they said like 10 years ago, 5 years ago.
All right, let's roll now into the ending of this, where we always like to end on an up note with the hype train. So let's roll into that hype train. Okay, Mumei, what are you excited for?
Oh, for you actually forgot about the love train part, but
sorry. For on the platform, we just go lame and hype because
lame and hype. Yes,
because a lot of people that we have interviewed and spoken to are now listeners and they don't sort of understand the 3, we just break it down to 2. So you got like a bad and a good rather than having a bad, a good, and something you're looking forward to. But yes, anyway.
Well, I was about to say something about good. I was about to say something about the love one, but it doesn't matter. It's all good.
If you want to drop in a love train in the middle there, we can do that too.
We can do one after this, after the hype one.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, we'll continue with this. Hype train, definitely next convention.
Yeah.
Because, like, since this whole COVID-19 stuff is kind of, like, closed off orders, different conventions, I'm like, a lot of people are sad and, like, come on, man, we really need some conventions, man. We need our fix. Give us some cosplays fix.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I am excited for a new convention, hopefully. Well, PAX has been cancelled, sadly.
Yes.
The next one in Sydney will be Madman either Madman or Oz Comic Con, because they're both in March.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's enough. That's probably enough time for something to actually happen. Yeah, because I can't imagine anything happening this year.
Yeah, well, apparently the Sydney Nova one is still happening this year in August, but I keep hearing that's not going to happen. I'm like, they're going to keep on pushing it, and eventually you might as well wait till next year and do it that way. Or if not, make it earlier next year.
Yes.
Maybe do it sometimes in autumn or instead of winter, because it's always in June.
Of course.
But of course I want to go to AvCon, which is in Adelaide.
Yep.
Because I do have a few friends who live there, and I love the conventions there. It's pretty cool.
Nice. All right, well, let's wrap up this episode. Again, Mumei, thank you so much for joining us here on the platform for this chat this evening. I do appreciate your time. If anyone wants to go and have a look at your work, etc., where can they find you?
Okay, I got a lot here, so...
No, please go.
All right, obviously you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube under Mumei 101. Okay. So pretty much MUMEI 101.
Yeah.
You can find me also on Twitter, but I don't do that. I don't use it as much though. Yep. Mainly when I post my streaming stuff. You can find me on that on Mumei 101 4.
Right. Okay. You got a 4 out.
Unfortunately, I couldn't get the 101.
Oh, good. Awesome. Thank you so much. And as always, you can find the Game Train related stuff at facebook.com/GameTrainPodcast. On Twitter at Game Train Talk, on Twitch, which is Game Train Twitch. But yes, anything else you want to add before we roll out of the station here, Mary? You're done?
I really don't know. Just like, well, for starters, be safe from this virus and all that. Just wash your hands, sanitize them.
Yep.
Be good to each other.
Cool.
Because like we're having enough drama and cancel culture as it is.
Yep.
And yeah, just try to stay alive.
Fair enough.
From all these catastrophes that's happening one after another.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. And this has been On the Platform.